What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today is a very cool video. We are currently at Miller Motorcars in Connecticut, and there are going to be some crazy cars here, so can't wait to check them out. There's probably going to be a lot of people, so once again I'll try to do my best with filming, and we'll see how it goes. Not show worthy. Alright guys, we're starting off with the heat. If you don't know, this is the McLaren F1 GTR. Now, many people say the F1 is probably the greatest car ever made, and this is the F1 GTR. So this car is super rare. I've never seen it in my life. I've never even seen an F1, so to see this is pretty crazy. In the same showroom is just a casual P1, no biggie, but this color by far is one of my favorites in the P1. It looks so clean. Then next to the P1 is actually a P1 HDK, so it just has the high downforce kit, and this thing looks just insane. It's like a P1 on steroids. It's crazy. Outside of the showroom is a McLaren Sabre. Now, I've actually seen this car before at another show in Connecticut, but to see this thing again is pretty cool, and this car is actually only one of 15, so there's literally only 15 of these in the world, and to see one in person it's just crazy. Alright, we just got another casual Senna over here. Now, the Senna has the most insane paint I've ever seen. If you know in the comments, just type it down, but I have no idea what this is. Like, this thing is just insane. Craziest paint I think I've ever seen on a car. It's so cool. Alright guys, I made a big mistake. Somehow, I have no idea, I actually forgot to film this car. This is all I have, but, you know, from the picture you could clearly see that, dude, this P1 is insane. I love the white wheels. I actually think this was one of the coolest cars at the show. Alright guys, now we're just strolling into the Ferrari dealership, and just some crazy Ferraris outside the showroom. Like the Porsche, the 12 Cylindri, the SF90 Spider. It's crazy. Then when you actually enter the showroom, there's just a lot of Ferraris just underneath. It's insane. Like, it's just absurd the amount of Ferraris there at this dealership. It's crazy. In the Ferrari dealership is this insane SF90 XX. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but it actually has blue carbon wheels. This is just one of the coolest SF90s I've ever seen. Then we got another crazy looking SF90. I love the black and the orange. I think it works so well together on this car. It's awesome. And in this part of the dealership, they actually put the SP1, SP2, and SP3 all together in one lineup, which is pretty cool. Now obviously, the main event is the SP3, because in order to get the SP3, you actually had to get the SP1 and 2. So the SP3 is really what everyone wanted, but it's still pretty cool to see them all right next to each other. Now what made the SP3 so special is that it was obviously limited production supercar, but it actually has the naturally aspirated V12. I believe it's the last one, I'm not sure. I think it is, but it also has 829 horsepower, which is crazy. But to have that V12 naturally aspirated is very special in a Ferrari. Now we got where the customers actually spec their cars, so that's pretty cool to see. Right here is the new Ferrari Testarossa. Personally, I think this thing really doesn't look that great, but you know, to each its own. But this thing has, I think, over 1,000 horsepower with the plug-in hybrid. It has a twin-turbo V8, which is pretty cool, and 3 electric motors. So it definitely puts up the power, but I think it looks pretty ugly. Now also at the show is every single Ferrari Halo car, which is absolutely insane to have all under one roof. Now this lineup actually starts with the Ferrari 288 GTO, which has the twin-turbo V8. It's the oldest one, so the lesser known, but next to it is the F40, which is crazy to see. And then next to the F40 is actually the F50, which is, I believe, Ferrari's first naturally aspirated V12. Now this thing's insane to see. I believe it might even be the most expensive of all of them, so it's pretty crazy to see it. And then next to that is the Ferrari Enzo, which I've seen a couple before, but to see one in black is actually, it's a really cool color in black. And next to it is, of course, the LaFerrari, which in silver just looks so good. Of course, the newest of the Ferrari Halo cars is the F80. Now, I know when this thing first came out, it kind of got a lot of backlash, or maybe hate or skepticism because of the looks, but I think in person, this car actually looks very good. I think it honestly might even be one of the better looking out of all of the Ferrari Halo cars. It looks so good. And this color is also, I like the paint. I think it's pretty good. I know usually when it came out, it debuted in red. Now obviously you can't go wrong with red, but I think this thing looks amazing. Outside the dealership is this just Rimac Nevera just chilling outside the dealership. I've never seen one of these. It looked pretty cool. Now of course it is all electric, but these things are crazy fast, and I think they've actually come down in value too, so still pretty cool to see though. And then near the Rimac is this Lamborghini Centenario, which, of course, this is one of these cars you probably will never see again because there's literally only 40 of them. And this one's actually a roadster, so that even makes it even crazier. Of course, it has the V12. This thing is just insane to see in person. I think it looks insane, especially those back diffusers, insane. Next to Centenario was actually the brand, I guess not brand new, but the new Countach, which of course another super rare car. I think there's only like 112 of these maybe, but this car is crazy. I think this thing looks so good, and honestly I think it might even look better than Centenario because it's very sleek, but this car is also like $3 million or so. But it does come with, of course, that V12, but this car, to see in person, also is absolutely nuts. I do like the rear taillights too, they're very cool. Behind the Countach is, of course, Lamborghini's first supercar, the Lamborghini Miura. This thing is pretty crazy. Yeah, I have no words. It's pretty crazy to see one of these. Now, this is obviously a Lamborghini Diablo. There is something special about this one in particular. I'm not too knowledgeable with the Lamborghini Diablo, so I really don't know much about it, other than, of course it has the V12 and was one of Lamborghini's best supercars, I think, in my opinion, but I really don't know what makes this one special. Of course, just a casual Porsche Singer, no biggie. This thing is so wide, and the interior is so sleek. I love the interior on these. But this car's actually super wide. Like, you just wouldn't expect it to be so wide. Then here, there's just all these Aston Martin and Bentleys and Lamborghinis just in the back lot. Just available for sale. There's just so much inventory. It's kind of crazy. It looks like a supercar graveyard almost. It's insane. To start off the Pagani dealership, no biggie, just a track-only Zonda. I believe there's only 5 of these in the whole world. And this thing is just a Zonda on steroids. Carbon fiber everywhere you look, and insane wing and rear diffuser. It's crazy. This thing's just nuts. Crazy to see. Next to it was the Zonda Cinque, which even more crazy. Only 5 of them. Well, maybe it's not more crazy, but it's still crazy to see. I caught this fully open and exposed. I mean, this thing, even the back, it goes up so high, and that engine just looks so good. But like I said, there's only 5 of the roadsters and 5 of the coupes. And this is the Roadster, and next to it is a coupe. So basically there's two of the 10 Zonda Cinques in the same room. But once again, this car is crazy. Never seen a Zonda before, and to see two of these things is insane. Of course, there's so many people looking at it, as there should be, but super cool to see. Then outside, you could clearly see just even more Paganis just chilling out there. So outside is just a bunch of Pagani Huayras, two Roadsters I think, and two coupes. So crazy to see. The red one's actually a Huayra Roadster BC. You could see the little roof scoop. That thing's pretty cool. I'm not a big fan of the plaid seats, but hey, I can't afford one, so still pretty cool to see. Although I do say that red is amazing. Now the blue one actually I think is a great spec because the seats, oh my gosh, I love that color. I think it matches the blue so well. But I just love how there's just a bunch of Pagani Huayras just chilling outside. Top down too and everything. Of course, just another Huayra, no biggie. I'm not sure I like this white, but pretty cool still to see. Now this thing I think is just the most basic of all of them, but even that, it's still a Pagani Huayra, so still pretty cool to see. Just a Ford GT chilling in the sun. These things are obviously crazy. The big scoops in them on the side where the air can just flow through right through the whole car, I think makes this thing look so good. Now over here is just a casual C-Zinger. Now this thing's crazy because it was green carbon fiber, which I've never seen before on one of these, so that's pretty cool. But what's even crazier is next to it was just exposed car. Just nothing, just a seat, steering wheel, tires. This thing's just crazy to see. I believe it's also 3D printed. Now, of the 40 Bugatti Divos in the world, 3 of them are just all right here next to each other. Now, this one in particular is crazy because that one was just such a subtle color. Now I believe this one is like the flagship color, the car that the Bugatti came out in. But I really like how sleek and classy that other one was. I think it looks pretty cool. Now, of course, you got the W16 with, I believe 1500 horsepower. So this thing's just an absolute beast. Now, if you couldn't top 3 Divos, well, I guess maybe you can, because right there is a Bugatti Bolide. Absurd car. I believe there's, again, I think there's only 40 of these, but this thing is just track only, insane car. It again looks like a spaceship. It's insane, and I believe it has that W16 as well. Now they also had the one-of-one golden era Bugatti. Insane, of course. I think it just is hand sketches of all the Bugatti's history and all their older cars. So crazy to see. Once again, somehow this is the only video I got of this car because there's just so much going on. Now outside, just a Jesko Attack, just chilling. See the eggs in there, pretty cool. This thing also had blue exposed carbon fiber. It's kind of hard to see in the light and this camera, but if you get real close, you can definitely see that carbon fiber. But once again, this thing is just insane. That wing is ginormous. But I believe, I don't know if it was this one or the other Jesko, the other version, not the Jesko Attack, the other one that actually was at one point one of the world's fastest cars. Now this thing is another insane car. This is a one-of-one Ferrari. Never seen it before. It actually kind of looks similar to a Di Tommaso, but this thing is pretty cool. Me personally, I don't think it looks that good, but you know, that's just my opinion. But it's still pretty crazy to see a one-of-one Ferrari. Now over here we got the American-made hypercar, the SSC. This thing is pretty crazy to see in person. It looks really, really, really good. I love the front. It almost looks like a fighter jet. I'm sure that's what it's supposed to look like, but it looks insane. I would love to hear one. I didn't get a chance to hear this. I'm not sure if they turn it on or not, but this thing's insane. Now here is actually a Carrera GT. You could kind of tell by the exhaust, but it's like a kit car for the Carrera GT. So, you know, I think this is the only one, but I don't know much about it. Can't really tell you, but obviously the Carrera GT, crazy car. I got the V10. It sounds really good as well. Now this car, I actually have no idea what it is. If you know, in the comments, please. But I think it looks pretty cool. I love how the mirrors are just so far up. I'm not sure how you can see that, but from the back, it also looks even more insane. Wow, I actually have no idea what this is. Here is the Batista. I'm not sure if I said it right, but this car is really cool looking, but I believe this car is actually electric. So I'm not sure how to feel about it, but still looks pretty cool. Don't know too much about it again, but I really like the design of it. I think it looks really good. Now, another crazy Bugatti is the Mistral. This thing is, I think, Bugatti's last go at the W16. So it's their final road version with that W16 engine. But these things are crazy. I mean, once again, I think it does look very similar to like the Devos and stuff, but you know, the back obviously looks a lot different. Still pretty cool to see though. Now, outside one of the dealerships was Bugatti Veyron. This thing is crazy. I've never seen a Veyron before, which is kind of crazy. But these things, obviously, at one point it was the fastest car in the world. It had that W16. I think this was, you know, Bugatti's one of their best cars, if not their best. Just got two Valhallas just chilling outside the dealership. Crazy to see these. Now, these do have the plug-in hybrid, I believe, mid-engine with that twin-turbo V8 and the AMG engine, but still, I believe it's pushing around like over 1,000 horsepower. Not sure the exact numbers, but these things are no joke. These things are crazy. Of course, it comes at a price. I believe they were like $1 million. I'm not sure what they are now, but crazy to see. Now here was actually one of my favorite cars to show. I really don't know too much about it, but I do know that, I believe I'm saying this right, it's the Aston Martin DBS GT Zagato. This thing is insane. Now I think it has some kind of, the front grille like moves or something, I'm not too sure, but it does have a twin turbo V12, and apparently there's only 19 of them. So it's like some crazy exclusive Aston Martin. Crazy to see though. Pretty wicked car. And of course, the Aston Martin Valkyrie. These things are just insane. Very similar to the Ford GT, how the air just goes right through the whole car. It's crazy. It does have that Formula One inspired build. Of course, these things are no joke when it comes to power and obviously cost. It does have that V12, like 1,100 horsepower or so. They're like, what, $3-4 million? Just insane. And I think this in all black really looks pretty cool. Like, it definitely is sleek. I like it.